Hi, this is Janae at Journal This, and I'm just coming today to show you one of our new stencils. This is just called our Jumbo Tree Stencil, and we wanted to make something that was sized for the margin of our Hobonichi weeks, but this also will make a great addition to any planner. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to use it, and I'm just going to do my thing and probably not have a lot of talking, but just show you how I'm going to color with it. So the one thing that I wanted to say is I made this trunk. It's about 1.5 inches wide, which is really wide for this little journal. So I'm going to scoot it over off the page a little bit and just use about 2/3 of the design. And so a couple of these areas is kind of delicate, so you might want to hold them with your fingers and just walk along like that. It can be done. If I put more little connector pieces, it kind of hurts the design, so I'm always torn. Do I want to add those, or do I want to just hope that you understand that this will help you lay down the design, but that we're going to have to baby it a little bit. So, and I think got all that. I'm just going to do this one area here. And it's a tree trunk, so it's not going to be perfection. It's going to be irregular. That's what you want anyway. So there's that. I got that one. There. Oops, I completely left off a whole area. There. Okay. So I'm just going to go through and darken those lines. There, and that gives you an idea of the tree trunk. And I'm just going to go and in little circles add some more dark brown just along the edge of my trunk to give it a little bit of shading. I'm laying my pencil down and getting more of a broad stroke, not so much of the point, and trying to make it irregular and not just a smooth line. This one here is, this is a burnt ochre, and it's number 187, but I like it. It's a nice warm golden. And I'm just going over my first shading area and drawing that further into the tree trunk. Once again, trying to make it irregular. The thing that's great about these pencils is that they are, I always say they're oil base, but what's kind of cool is when you lay down your first color and then go over it with the second color, you are blending it and blending those two and creating your own color depending on how much you put down. And you can layer it and layer it and layer it, blending them further and further out, and it makes it, as long as you're not laying down heavy color, which will cause it to kind of have a sheen, and then it doesn't give you a lot of paper for the pencil to stick to as well. Eventually you're unable to add more color if you just bear down and are a little heavy-handed. So, but you can constantly go back and layer even more and more and more color down. I'm going to go back to my first brown, the dark brown. I'd like to add a little bit more dark right on that edge. Okay, and this one is like brown ochre. This is like one of my favorite colors, you can tell. There. I think I'm going to go through and add some more dark brown in some of these areas. There, I kind of like that. So also on this stencil we have a tree branch, and there's a little bit of a divot right here, and if you line that up right about that area, your tree branch will fit. You can have it, the original drawing had the tree branch going like that, but because I'm in this little journal and I want my tree to go over both pages, I'm going to lay it across like that. Yeah, just like that. And then we're going to join up to the tree. I'm going to fake a little bit of wood grain on here since it's a thicker branch. I just ran one line down the middle, about 2/3 of the way down the branch. Like that. Maybe add some dark here where it's joined into the tree. Maybe give it another little scratchy scratch. And then, now that we have the leaves on, we can add our branches, attach them. Fill in any breaks that are left by the stencils. For the leaves, see if I keep this in the frame, I'm just going to lay down my darker green on one edge of the leaf and then drag the color into the center. And then I'm going to grab a lighter leaf green, and I think I'll try, this one is the earth green yellowish, it's number 168. These are my favorite two greens, that one and May green 170. I love those. And I'm just going to lay that down rather heavy on the opposite side of the leaf. There. Now on the stencil we've added a couple of things. You could have a sign that hangs here, which I think I'm going to do, and or you can put a bird, which I also think I'm going to do, fill in there with a little bird, or you can have a birdhouse hanging. if you'd like. I don't need that. I'm just going to add this for my to-do list. It's going to be the header. I'm just going to add this little sign. Coloring, I always go around the edges and just lay in the color heavier around the edges and very light inside. You can always add more color if you want to, but I think it gives your objects a little bit of dimension if you keep the color darker around the edges. And this is a weathered wood sign, so I'm going to add some little lines. I'm just going to scratch in a little bit of color. There. So that's that. And I'm going to tie the sign. I'm going to make a couple of holes. And I'm going to tie it onto my tree branch. I'll give it a little bow there. There. And this is going to be my to-do list. So I think I'm going to call it important. I have a lot of things coming up. And yeah, we'll just go with to-do. I know they're important. I like using the Micron Pigma. Somebody asked me if I have any trouble getting my ink to stick on top of my pencils, and I seem to have less issue if I'm using the Micron Pigma, and I do like to use the .01, but I happen to have the .03 handy, so that is that. And let's put a bird in there. I think we'll do a little blue bird. No, we'll do a red bird, because I'm going to do a blue sky. So I'm picking a darker red, going around the stencil. I did not do this little side of the body here. I just did the head and then the lines up to where it joins. And that way, when I move my stencil away, I can just connect them like that. And this little birdie is just singing like that. And put a little shading behind his head. And let's draw a wing on there. A little bit like that. And then go to a lighter red. Sometimes you can even just put an orange and it blends with that dark red and makes a really warm color. There. Let's give him some little legs. And he's singing. That. And now, that's about all I'm going to do. I'm just going to add some blue in, and I can add in, sometimes it's pretty to add in like a turquoise. I think I will use that blue. It's a little bit more of a cooler with lavender. This is the cobalt blue, and it's number 143. So there, and that's all I'm going to do for that page. Thanks for watching.